Hi guys, how you doing? It's Harry here from the Western Music Cartel. Just doing you a little video based on an experience I had in a venue last night. It was really interesting. I was having a chat with the manager, and he came across that it really stood out for him that he quite likes working with me because of my attitude, it was quite a nice thing to hear back, obviously, from somebody that repeatedly books you. But this was in particular a bar that I've been working in now for 6 months. He really enjoys the fact that I turn up and that I am the way that he would like to work with DJs. And he did say to himself and also to me, he wishes more people shared the same view on work as I do. Now, from my point of view, that was brilliant. I was happy with that. But then I got to thinking to myself, I thought, well, no, hang on, there's obviously guys out there that aren't fulfilling this side of the business, and it is a business, let's be fair, but it's that side of the industry that maybe is somewhat lacking. So I thought, I'll do a little bit of quick insight into how I work with things, so that people can get a gist of exactly what I'm doing, really, and it just got me down to things called rapports, which I do tend to build up with the people that I work with. And they get what I'm doing, I get what they're doing, and it kind of works out really well in terms of making sure that we're all working to the same end, for the same cause, which is their business as well as my business. In terms of I'm working towards making their business successful, whether it be the hotel for a wedding, or for a birthday party, or an engagement, or anything like that, right down to a bar or a club, making sure that they're successful, because obviously if they're not successful, they're not going to want to book me because they won't be there. So really it was just gauging that and working from that opinion to try and get this little insight into how I work personally, and it might be something that might be able to help you. I have a simple way that I tend to work when I'm going in to gauge a venue, and that's to work on the 3 P's and Q's. It's polite, professional, and positive. Simple as that. Polite, professional, positive. If you use those 3 when you're working, you cannot go wrong. I promise you this. First one, obviously, polite. Make sure you're going in and you're polite to every single person. It doesn't matter where they are within the business, whether if you're going into the hotel, whether they're the receptionist, or whether they're the bellhop, or whether they're literally somebody that's just carrying a tray of something, whether it be cleaning stuff all the way up to them. Always be polite, because you never know who you're talking to. Yes, you might work there regularly, so you may know who you're talking to, but you never know. A classic example in the bar and club industry would be the fact that people tend to promote within the actual industry itself. So if you're not polite to, say, the person who works behind the bar, or the person who just does the glass washing, there's nothing to say that in 3 months' time they won't become the manager. So therefore, if they have a low opinion of yourself in terms of you never being polite to them, they may not want to have you there. So therefore, that might be work that you're missing out of. Again, that also conspires to everything else, whether it be hotels, whether it be wedding venues, whether it be private parties. Always be polite. You never know who you're talking to. And again, it all comes down to the fact that this is a business, and it's your face and reputation that's on the line. And if you're seen to be polite, then you will consistently be continued to be booked. People will find you appealing. They will open up more to you. You'll find that. Another one is professional. Always gauge the fact that you are there to earn money, you are there to do a job, and everything. Do not mix the two. I tend to find that I've done it in the past, I'll be honest. When I first started out, you tend to get hyped up into mixing the two, between being friends and work and all that sort of thing. Doesn't work. Trust me, it doesn't work. People will only take you seriously, and they will only take you legitimately if you are professional about the work that you're doing. It has to be that full big black line. No faint lines, no fading lines. Full black line between when you're a customer, when you're working, when you're there just to socialise, when you're there to pick up this, when you're there to do this. It has to be 100%. I'm here to work. This is what I'm here to do. I'm here to do you a service. That's what you've booked me for. So I'm here to turn up. And then the final one, and this is the one that's very key, and I'm very surprised at how little this is used here, is positivity. Okay, let's be fair. Your main role is to support their business. They book you to support their business, whether it be a wedding venue, hotel, whether it be even private bookings. You're there to support their business. Their business may be just their wedding. Simple as that. And it's not that difficult about being positive. A classic example would be if you're in a bar and you're walking into the venue, be 100% positive, because if you're positive about their venue, you're selling yourself and you're selling your vision to their vision. So therefore the people that are booking you will say, do you know what, they actually like working here, they can see what we're trying to do, they're going to work with us, brilliant, let's book them again. Another classic example would be if you're here for the wedding, you're here for the wedding. Wow, this is a fantastic wedding. You'll have dealt with them up to there. If you haven't, check out some of my other videos previously, but you will have dealt with them. You'll know what you're walking yourself into. You'll know what you're there for. You know what this is. And be generally positive. It's not about the classic blowing smoke or being patronising. You don't need to be patronising. And again, there's another P word. But you don't need to be patronising. But what you do need to be is positive. People do respond well to positivity, and not a lot of people do that. Finally, we've got the queue. It's one simple queue, and it's questions. When you're turning up to a venue and you want to deal with people in terms of anybody from rebooking you, always have your questions in hand. Classic questions, for example, what times do you start and finish? You should know that already because you should have worked it out. But the questions are really down to you. Have a think about before you go there, you know, whether you've got any questions. If you're walking into a setup that you've never used before, more for you. You should try and really gauge their setup, whether it be for your equipment that you need to bring, what CDs, what format you need to have your music, because that's the new one. Let's be fair, whether you're turning up into a club that has maybe Denon MC 3900s or CDJ 2000s, are they data linked? In terms of, will you be able to put a hard drive in one, link across to the other two, or are you going to have to bring a backup hard drive to plug into the other one? It's things like that. I mean, that's very much a bar and club work associated question, but at the same point quite relevant in this day and age. I would say to you, always make sure you check out your questions as well, just so that you're 100% prepared for what you're going into. So that's pretty much it, really. It was just basically because I'd had a chat with this manager and he was just very happy with the attitude that I shared, and I thought if I share this across with other people, you guys may be doing exactly the same. But you know what, this is just from in here and it's just passing it on, because otherwise it's only going to be in here, it's going to be passed along to my little ones, but then after that, you know, who knows, it may just be lost knowledge, don't know. But yeah, so that's all I go by, the 3 P's and 1 Q, simple and easy peasy, and it does me quite well. I tend to get a fair bit of work out of it, and it just serves me right. It works well for my business, and that's for every aspect, whether it be bars, clubs, mobiles, even venues, or even just simply just turning up and entertaining people, and that's what it's all about. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's just my musings for now. Got some more videos to come, so I shall speak to you soon. Thank you very much for watching and your continued support. Thanks guys. Cheers. Bye.